time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Do it live! 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 Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it live!
That's right. Doing it live on this Tuesday. Is that the day? The snow's got us all thrown off. And they're saying more winter precip, a possibility, tomorrow for areas, I guess, north of us here in Greenville. Welcome. Nice to have you along. Patrick Johnson here. Is that Philip the Ref Pilkington I see? Are we sure that Philip the Ref Pilkington is in the house? There he is.
I made it back.
So between winter travel, a little bit of illness, Dom, myself, and just the failure to communicate in the communications business. No show yesterday, but that's okay. I needed a break and needed the rest, to be honest with you. And I don't know who would have been. I don't know. We may have done all right yesterday because people would have been starved for entertainment. There's only so much Netflix and chill you can do, I suppose. What is
Patrick, do you know the definition of Netflix and chill?
I don't. Could you explain that to me?
Well, Netflix is watching Netflix. Chill is
what that is.
Yeah,
chill
yeah.
Is, you chill out. You hang out.
You hang out, and usually it's exactly nope, not that.
Okay.
It's
partaking in the.
No, it's something. It's something that people who are very religious wait to do after marriage. Specifically on the wedding night is what the chill is.
Combined bank accounts.
Yes.
That,
yes.
Some couples don't combine bank accounts. They have separate bank accounts.
That is true. They don't. But yes.
I've learned something here today. Thank you, Pilk. That's not my generation, so I don't know. I can't say what it is. But that's interesting. So they watch Netflix and then they talk about a shared bank account. They
do. Yep. And getting a puppy together.
All right. Oh, really? Yep. I wouldn't advise either one, personally. That's just me. What do I know? Apparently not a lot. It's great to have you with us.
Do it live!
On a Do It Live edition here of the PJ Show. Pilk, I'm not quite 100%. So I could go into a little bit of what we would call a coughing fit. I will try to avoid that. I feel one coming on, so I'm going to mute my mic and have you go full screen with you so I can take a sip here and try to stave it off. So go full screen.
Here we go. All righty, so just going into our show for today, obviously we'll have the 5 at 5 here in a moment. Also, former Pirate assistant Greg Herenda will join us at about 5:20. We'll talk Pirate basketball if the Pirates got that big win down in Boca Raton on Sunday. We'll talk about the retirement of Big Guy as well as Duke Carolina and some more things around college basketball. College basketball is in full swing.
Big TV star he is right now is Greg Herenda. CBS Sports Network, ESPN Plus, the whole nine. All right, let's do our top 5, shall we? I've got some good stuff on the list today. We got some good stuff.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
Number one, as we mentioned, Pirates get a big win over the FAU Owls on Sunday, 76-75. After the game, Coach Schwartz on how his team performed.
The mail was delivered on Sunday because the mailman delivered today. and that's what we needed also.
And the Pirates were led by Jordan Riley, who had second consecutive game with over 35 points. Here's what Jordan Riley said was working for him.
Pretty much playing on instincts, and also my teammates telling me where they're going to be at on the floor. So always take that into account because that one play that I just did that you just talked about, Gio talked about he was going ready for a lob, but he just cut me off. Next thing I spun. Next thing Gio was right there, so I just handed it right off to him.
Yeah, he had 4 assists to go along with that, 9 rebounds. He has earned the USBWA Oscar Robertson National Player of the Week honors, did Jordan, and it was just sensational. Coach talking about, of course, it was Jordan Riley who delivered, dubbing him the mailman in that post-game interview. So Johnny Stats has sent me, Pilk, some numbers.
All righty.
Only Pirate to score 35-plus in back-to-back games since Oliver Mack in 1977. Owns the longest active scoring streak in the nation of 11 or more points, 31 straight games. One of just 4 Pirates ever with 4 30-point games in a single season. The aforementioned Oliver Mack, the great Blue Edwards, and Akeem Richardson. He nearly had more. Remember, he had a 28-point performance earlier this year, a 29-point performance earlier this year. The 480 points that he has scored is tied for the 18th highest single-season total in program history. It matches his total from last year, so he's going to exceed that. And he's not finished yet. And the plays he made with the body control, the 3 he hit despite the terrible production, I'll just say it, of what they were doing down in Boca Raton. I think they're on beach time. They were definitely on island time in Boca Raton.
It wasn't very good production.
With the replays,
yeah,
it was a Florida production. But, and we're so blessed. We have such a good production crew that does our stuff for East Carolina. And we've got just some people that don't get it because they love to complain about things. Because if they're not complaining, they're not happy. You know who I'm speaking of.
And here's a 40-year-old, bearded, heavy guy down in someone's basement.
Maybe they're a podcaster, too. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you've got people that are losers that gripe about everything. But you want to you can't complain about the production value that the ECU productions are for Plus. They're outstanding. But I'll tell you this, Pilk. I do not think there was not a bigger shot, despite everything that happened, than the 3-point to tie it up at 68. You miss that shot, it's again you're obviously probably not going to win the game. But you do it with less than a second on the shot clock, and you make it. It counts. They couldn't even get the replay right on the replay. I mean, they can. Usually you have multiple angles. All right, we missed the live play. But, I mean, what Jordan Riley's doing right now, and, Sonny Sunolder, who I work with on the telecast, has said all year he's the best player in the American. And, sometimes you think, all right, well, these are just platitudes or things that are being said, hype type of. But, no, I think he's the best player in the American. And if he does not win Player of the Year, I mean, there's nobody right now to me that's running away with that. Maybe I need to look a little deeper. But to me, he's the Player of the Year in the conference right now. Right now.
Yeah, I agree. If he doesn't win it, it'll be, I guess, the bias of the team. Doesn't have a great record, and normally your Player of the Year is on a really good team. But yeah, I mean, I think that even makes it maybe a little bit more impressive as to what he's doing is because of, let's just be honest, it's been not quite the performance that we had hoped it would be this season from the Pirates, but there's a lot of basketball he played. We're halfway through league play now, sitting at 2-7, still got 9 games left to play and some ones on the schedule. So we'll see if he can will his way to it, but some good stats there from Johnny Stats. We always appreciate him chiming in on both the show as well as the show at noon, because Patrick and I wouldn't even know where to find these things. I don't even know where he finds them, but he always has some good ones to come up with. And, hey, maybe Jordan Riley will continue to add to those totals.
I also think it's really interesting that, or good, that they're going to have a week off. It gives him a chance to rest. The open week probably came at if you win, you'd like to get back out there. But you've got Temple coming up. You get a chance to maybe work on some things, put in some wrinkles from when you played them last time. And that's who they'll play Saturday at noon in Greenville. All right, next.
Number 2.
Number 2, Coach Swartz was happy with his team after this weekend's game. Rick Barnes Coach Schwartz's mentor, not so much. Here's what he had to say after Tennessee's loss. This one was interesting.
I mean, at the end of the game, some of the passes that we throw, I mean, just, I don't know what to say other than sometimes I wonder if my guys are betting on games. I shouldn't say that, but, that's what Ray said. I don't want to say that. But I just wonder what's happening. I mean, because I know we're too good of players to do that. Was that a bad... I apologize. I shouldn't have said that.
I mean, Freudian slip, maybe. But I mean, and I'm not going to pretend I watched the game that he was talking about. But, he did. I mean, if you're North Carolina last night, you're Hubie, aren't you wondering what's going on here? Who are these jokers that are letting a 32-point lead evaporate to 6? He obviously meant that maybe as sort of a dismissive kind of comment, flippant kind of comment. Maybe he was joking, and that's what his intent was. But and I'm not saying you have to open an investigation here, but I mean, I don't think we can look at any of this stuff, Pilk, with any sort of, pure set of eyes. I think you have to be skeptical. Not saying anything's happened, but perhaps it's the reality is stranger than we realize, perhaps.
Patrick, this happened 106 years ago. If it was happening 106 years ago, it's probably happening now when anybody can do it on their phone. So let's just, call a spade a spade. I don't think if he had any speculation, he would have actually said this. This was very lighthearted. His body language was good. I mean, you could tell he was disappointed in the way his team had played, obviously, but I don't think he'd be saying that. But, yeah, I mean.
I think it's a legitimate wonder, though. I mean, to wonder out loud,
yeah, I know.
think it's perfectly legitimate.
Yeah, I mean, you brought it up last night with Carolina. I don't even know what that line closed at. I'm going to look it up, actually, now that you do bring that up. I watched the game, and like you said, it just got ugly quick. So the line closes at 11.5. Carolina was up by 32, wins by 10.
By 10. Again, not saying anything's happening, but because of everything that has gone on and because the sports have tied themselves so closely to sports gambling and these different outlets, you have to look at everything through a lens. You have to. You have to look at it with a skeptical eye in this day and time. It's sad, but but you know what? It's working. Unlike stuff that happened, as you said, 106 years ago, or the stuff that happened with Boston College in the 80s or whenever it was. That was all skullduggery, the mob being involved. Not saying they're not involved in any of the modern day scandals, but these are, people getting caught. That's what's meant to happen. That's why the things are in place that are in place to have that happen.
3.
Number 3, as Dom and I spoke Friday, early, I guess Thursday night, actually, Lindsey Vonn had a bad crash. It has come out that she has ruptured her ACL, but still intends on competing on Sunday in the Olympics.
I'm not letting this slip through my fingers. I'm going to do it. End of story. So I'm not letting myself go down that path. I'm not crying. My head is high. I'm standing tall. And I'm going to do my best. And whatever the result is, that's what it is. But you can never say I didn't try.
Lindsey Vonn, by the way, 41. So she's not a youngin' in the world of sports. And for her to go out there, 41, torn ACL, these are the things that make the games of the Olympiad what they are. And it's very special, and I commend her for it. Because what does she have to prove, Pilk? Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, hell, she was retired for 5 years and decided to come back to compete in these games.
Yeah, greatest in her sport, has nothing to prove. So I think it's fantastic. And, everything, especially today, that's come out with the Super Bowl and surrounding the Super Bowl with the Bad Bunny performance and ICE and all of these things that have come out in the political and news realm, where people try to camouflage agenda with, what's best for America. This is actually a great patriot, what she is doing. This is patriotic. This is heroic, what she is doing.
Yeah, but they're not going to
some of
talk
these
about
other
this.
garbage things.
They won't
Right.
talk about this.
Should. Well, NBC will. NBC
Yes.
will talk about
Well,
it. I mean,
yeah, because it's viewership. They all want us waking up at, 5:30? I think we got to wake up on Sunday morning for this one. Patrick will be up.
Probably. For me, this is the biggest story going into the Olympics right now, which I think I'm excited about.
And you know, it's interesting because a week ago I would have said it was Chloe Kim. Chloe Kim had suffered a pretty bad injury that looked like it was going to sideline her. We've got the women's super pipe final. I think it's towards the back end of the Olympics. I want to say it might not even be next week. It might be the following week. Don't quote me on that. But obviously she being the favorite in the women's super pipe. And now you got the 41-year-old coming off a worse injury and not even coming off of it, but in the midst of one and still competing.
There's no surgery. She's dealing with it. It's going to be fascinating to watch her.
4.
Number 4, speaking of the Super Bowl media days were yesterday. Sam Darnold was asked about his competitor, Drake May.
Drake's a great dude. Like I said, was able to hang out with him for a little bit. So he's a great guy, obviously a great football player, and it seems like he's a great leader as well for his team. So can't say enough good things about Drake.
And then later, Drake May was asked about returning to Santa Clara, California, as he has attended one Super Bowl. That was Super Bowl 50, as he saw his favorite team, the Carolina Panthers, lose in the only other Super Bowl played in that venue.
Full circle moment. I think that's the biggest thing. What a moment. Just so thankful for my dad who was able to take me to a Super Bowl. That's, don't take it for granted. Not every kid gets to experience that. And I was watching my favorite team at the time and got a chance to watch, Peyton Manning's last game. What a cool experience that was. And now to be here and playing in, one myself, I don't take that for granted and know, how special this is and just trying to enjoy it. Enjoy it with my teammates, enjoy it with everybody who, helped get me here. And from there, go try to win it.
What a great pull there, that piece of audio, Bill. Good work.
Thank
work finding that. It was good stuff. I was looking this up. I can't. That's the defense. Let's see. Offense here. Darnold. So, if Sam Darnold wins, Pilk, what does that do for his legacy, in your estimation? Because he's made 2 straight Pro Bowls. And his history is probably the reason why that one bad performance in Minneapolis has led him to Seattle and has led him to led the Seahawks to where we are now.
Yeah, I think it does a lot. It's still, he's young enough to still put his name in the conversation with a lot of the greats, but he's going to have to continue to play at the level he has the last 2 years. It's still a small sample size for him playing good, but it's going to put him kind of in that Rich Gannon type conversation, right? He's a guy who went out there and had an MVP season, obviously lost the Super Bowl that year back in 2002 at the age of 42. But, when you think of guys that it's hey, man, they were okay guys, but they showed flashes. And this is what I think he's already in. Obviously, putting a Super Bowl, trophy next to his name would help that a lot. I'm trying to think of an exact guy who maybe just won one Super Bowl but wasn't a great quarterback. Maybe you think of a guy like the punky QB known as McMahon, bounced around a lot, of Trent Dilfer, a Brad Johnson, guys like that. So you kind of put yourself
better than those guys. I think
yeah, he is
than those guys.
That's a good point. So
it's a weird spot. I mean, if he were to win, would you put him on the plane with Eli?
If he continues to play well. So the thing is, though, he's had some bad years, Darnold has. He's going to have, and he doesn't even have to play at this level to be put on the plane as Eli moves forward. But I need 5 more years of, decency, just a little above average to be with Eli. I'm trying to think, man. People are going to tar and feather me for this. Broadway Joe. Had a losing record as a starting quarterback if he doesn't guarantee the game. Almost. Yeah. But Eli was 200 and something, or 100 and something, 100 and something, and Broadway Joe was 46 and 47 or something. Now they played less games back then, but Broadway Joe, you think? I don't know. Even though he never won one as a starter, do you put him up there with a guy like Earl Morrall, who won 2 as a backup, lost 1 as a starter, and had an MVP season with the Colts when Johnny Unitas was hurt? I don't know.
You look at Drake May. And, let's face it, people are really unhappy with the fact that the Patriots are back in this, I'm sure. wasn't 6 enough? Come on. Wasn't that enough? Wasn't that whole era enough? Well, I don't know if this starts a whole new era. The thing that just kind of gnaws at me with the Patriots is they played such a bad schedule. Now, they won in Denver, but I don't know how good that Denver team was without Bo Nix in the lineup.
Yeah, so they
I don't
played.
know if they'd won that game with Bo Nix in the lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have.
So, they played 3 games all year against teams who didn't fire their head coach or their offense and defensive coordinator. And all 3 of those teams were in the NFC South. Then they beat the Chargers, a team who we know can't win in the playoffs.
Sure.
They beat the Texans.
Up.
Yeah, and was banged up.
Badly injured.
They beat the Texans in a bad weather game against a dome team, and then you beat Denver on a backup quarterback. So I think they still have something to prove. And I'm not trying to take away from the fact they won 14 games. I still think they're a good football team. They are actually a damn good football team. But are they ready to be a Super Bowl champion caliber football team? Well, we're going to find out in about 5 days.
I think this is the one to me where there's no clear cut. I mean, I guess it's got to be Seattle just because of all the different things they can do defensively and even offensively. But I don't know. There's something about Drake May.
I think Seattle's the better team 1-53, but if Sam Darnold turns the ball over 3 times, which he's more than capable of doing, then he turns the ball over 3 times. We got ourselves a football game.
It just takes one, baby. It's a one-off game. This isn't a best of 7. This is a one-off deal.
5. All righty, number 5. All of a sudden, the Hornets have won 7 in a row, and Amon Shumpert has now compared LaMelo Ball to SGA.
When you talk about this team and they're going at their best, if they went to the playoffs and figured out a little bit of discipline, I don't see the difference in how LaMelo Ball plays and how SGA plays, besides some discipline and saying, this the shot I want here, this is the shot I want here. I'm not going to take a chance here. I'm not going to take a chance here. When you're talking about gifted, talent-wise, LaMelo's also 6'6", 6'7". I wouldn't want to deal with that. Not with confidence.
SGA had a better surrounding cast last year, and maybe still does. I mean, I know Oklahoma's had some moments where they've underachieved this year, Oklahoma City. But I'm going to tell you this, Pilk. Are your boys, because you're from Charlotte, so I'm calling them your boys. Are your boys, the Charlotte Hornets, America's team, as Chuck has dubbed them?
If they get in the playoffs, they could be. Yeah, because they have been losers.
Are they players at the deadline? Are they players at the deadline?
I don't know who they'd go get.
Which is 2 days away. I'll tell you.
2 days away. Yeah. Who?
Lonzo Ball. I don't know if that puts them over the top. They're under the cap. Lonzo Ball.
That'd be an interesting pickup. Seeing brothers play together would be cool. But yeah.
LeVar would go nuts. He said if they had all 3 of his kids playing together, he said this 10 years ago, that team would win the NBA title.
Here we go. Is LiAngelo still on the Greensboro Swarm? Okay. He wasn't one time.
He's got a burgeoning music career. He may have even been at the Grammys and all of that nonsense the other night. Probably
didn't
not.
know that. I had no idea he had a music career. Yeah.
He's retired and has a music career.
Learn something new every day.
A different blank that's told me that. So, but could your boys, your Charlotte Hornets, could they be players?
I think they could be. Yeah, they can go into the play-in tournament and maybe wreak some havoc. I just don't know if the NBA right now is a big enough brand to have an America's team. Is there people who are just sitting around on their couch watching NBA every night going, oh, that's America's darling right there? I just don't think enough people care to have a true America's team. But if there would be one,
it would be the Hornets. All right. We're going to talk some college hoops when we come back. Greg Herenda, one-time ECU basketball assistant, NCAA tournament coach as a head coach, and now ace analyst on CBS Sports Network. He'll join us to talk some college basketball and some Pirate-related items when we come back. PJ Show.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Two real burgers, better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wade, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Oh, hey. Welcome back.
Oh, who's back reporting for duty?
You got here just in time.
Holy nuts, man.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back, PJ Show. And let us welcome one of my favorite people. Always enjoyed him when he was around East Carolina, and he's a star now in the world of college basketball broadcasting. Joining us via video hookup before the vast video audience here, Coach Greg Herenda with us here. CBS Sports Network, ESPN, ESPN Plus. Coach, how are you?
Patrick, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm snowed under. I'm a little under the weather. But, hey, I'm talking ball with Coach Herenda.
I just have to do one minor correction before I get in trouble.
Sure.
Your introduction was tremendous, but I am a Fox Sports.
Fox Sports, not CBS. Okay, my bad. My bad.
I'm talking to everybody, but Fox. I've done 2 FS1 games. I have 2 more coming up. I'm a Mountain West guy. I went from the barbecue of Greenville to the snowy tops of the Mountain West Conference, which is an extremely fun conference to cover. But, yeah, I'm doing Fox Sports. I did Madison Square Garden. I did the Seton Hall St. John's game in Madison Square Garden on radio for Seton Hall Radio. So right now I'm just, wherever they call me, I'm going. But I'm excited to talk to you and Philip.
Well, it's great to have you on. What's your next FS1 assignment? When do you appear there?
This Saturday night. It's gonna. I don't think many people from North Carolina are going to be tuning in, but it's San Diego. All right. But listen though. Actually, you'll probably catch the second half. San Diego State at Air Force, 8 o'clock East Coast time, 6 Mountain Standard time. So I know
you'll be fine.
The Carolina Duke game is going to get in the way a little bit, but when you're done with that, Mountain West is a great conference, and fortunate to be calling it. I'm just fortunate to be involved with the game of college basketball, Patrick, to be quite honest with you.
I got you. Coach Greg Herenda, FS1, and ESPN and ESPN Plus. All right, I got it. Coach, I got one that'll top your game. Masson, which was in maybe 3 households. I did a game at Delaware during one of the Duke-Carolina games. We were head-to-head right at 9 o'clock when they used to play that thing. And I think my mom might have watched it at a bar. I think that's the only person that tuned in. It was UNCW at Delaware, and the great Brian Rowson, who played at UNCW, played the NBA, was with me. And one time I was with Brian Rowson in Harrisonburg, Virginia. We were going to do a JMU game. And I told the waitress at the Shoney's, which I know you've been to that Shoney's at JMU. I told the waitress at the Shoney's, she asked, was it Patrick Ewing? And I said, yes, you need to get an autograph from him. And she then harassed him for an autograph. She thought he was Patrick Ewing, which was great.
I love it. I love Shoney's. I love them all. The Golden Corral. I love those. Those are my kind of joints.
You like to fuel up when you're on the road, Coach. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Pirates. Big win for them. And then Jordan Riley gets some national recognition today. He gets the Conference Player of the Week. And, I mean, you've got to go back. The last time a guy had back-to-back 30 spots in the program history to Oliver Mack back in the day when I was born. Yeah, that's how long ago that was. So what he's doing is outstanding. But through your coaching eye, what about him is making him so successful and such a productive scorer?
Well, I think we spoke about him the last time I was on, and I touted him as one of the really great scorers in America. And I think now it's coming out. I mean, he's number one, he's tenacious. You know, he's a bull. He's not afraid to drive the basketball, take the big three. He's a winner. But I think it's his attitude more than anything that jumps off the screen. I haven't seen the Pirates, live this year, but when I do see them, I just see him as a fearless leader. I hearken back to Derek Wiley, who played for Coach Herenda and myself when we beat Marquette with Dwayne Wade in Minji's. He's a terrific player, and I'm glad that he's getting all the accolades that he deserves. It was a great win for the Pirates. Hopefully it'll jumpstart them down the stretch towards March. And he's a problem, as they say in the business. He's a problem to guard, and he's a problem to deal with if you have to check him.
Made a huge 3 in that game. Giovanni Imajuru made a great pass to Gio, who dunked it. And Gio's now kind of figured out how he can score with some regularity. I like the kid that they brought in from Augusta State. He's given him, I think, a legitimate third guy that can score on the perimeter. And look, the goal for them is simple at this point. Just play yourself to at least number 10. Just get into the conference tournament. And I don't know if they got Temple coming up. They'll have this week off. I know they got UTSA a couple of times, including there in San Antonio. But when you look at that, there's been challenges this year, especially shooting the ball. So how do you circle around and accentuate, what those 3 guys I mentioned are doing to kind of get you to the winner's circle and get you into the tournament so you got a chance to play for the postseason?
Yeah, you need everyone on your roster this time of the year. You never know who's going to step up and who's going to come to the forefront. But you've got to guard, which they play very hard. But again, in this day and age, it's Captain Obvious. You've got to make 3-point shots to open up your offense. And it's in February, and I think, I just stopped over to Elon's practice today, and they have one of their better players out. you need guys to step up, and it's not the guys that are on the top of your stat sheet. It's usually the guys that are in the middle or haven't had the opportunities for one reason or another. But yeah, everybody's fighting for something, right? Like Carolina and Duke, it's going to be another epic, I'm sure. But if you're trying to get into a conference tournament, the pressure and the build up and the excitement and the preparation is just as big, if not bigger. So everyone's playing, for something in February. And if you're playing to get into the tournament, that's great. And then you have a shot at it. The first time I went to the tournament, we were picked 9th that year. We were the 3rd youngest team in America. And we probably don't have time, but on a other show, I've got to tell you, I went to see a movie that changed my mentality and changed our team's complexion.
Tell it. We got time. Tell me, what was the movie?
The Big Short. Now, if you haven't seen it, now you have to go and see it. It was about the economic crash of real estate in the United States, and one individual just went the total opposite from the crash, and he was the guy that made all the money. So I sat in a movie theater, and I go to the movies by myself. My wife, God bless her, she wants to go to the movies. I like going to the movies by myself. I like going to church by myself. There's a few things that I like doing by myself. So it's not good at the Homestead, but I walked out of that theater saying, guess what? I'm doing what everybody else is doing, and I'm stopping. I'm changing. And we played man-to-man. I was Coach Herenda. I'm a disciple of Bert Hamill at Merrimack College. So we went to a zone, and I committed to it for the rest of the year. And I think we won 12 or 13 straight games, went to the NCAA tournament, won a game in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Patrick, when I tell you and all of your listeners that if I didn't go to that movie and if I didn't have my mind opened, we never would have done that. So you just don't know. So if you're not doing, and I'm not giving any coach any, something to bite on, but if you're doing something all year and it's not working, guess what? It's probably not going to work. It's probably not going to work at the end of the year. So I changed it up, and a lot of coaches don't like change. And, guess what? When you're winning, you don't change. But when you're losing, you got to find something. And I found something. So, in February, you've got to think out of the box. And I know every coach is watching tape and banging their heads, but that was my solution, and it literally changed my life and my world. And I got to, if you look on, I think it's the 14-second mark of One Shining Moment in 2019. The camera's in my locker room, and
there you go.
And I owe it to The Big Short.
Well, there you go. FS1 this weekend, 8:00, national television. Greg Herenda, San Diego State at Colorado State. Did I get it right? I got it right? Did I get it right?
At Air Force.
At Air Force. At Air Force. Let me do that again. Take 2. It'll be San Diego State.
That's okay.
At Air Force at 8:00. And Coach will be there on the call of that one. Coach, the great Cy Seymour would always talk about February basketball. What a grind it is. You've alluded to it here. Make people understand when you get to this time of year, really how tough it is, especially in conference.
Well, really, the first thing is the grind of every day. These guys have been together, and I know the portal has a lot to do with it, but they've been together since June, July, August, when it was 95 degrees in Greenville, and now it's February. The grind of practice is hard. The winning and the losing, no matter what, if you win or lose, especially losses, takes a toll on you. The players playing against each other every day. Your opponents know everything about you, and you know everything about your opponent. So the margin of error is very small. The pressure now with social media, just like I was listening to you guys before I came on about Seattle and New England. Everybody has an answer or a question, and you're getting bombarded. Now the players are getting bombarded with social media, so it's taxing. And the freest time, if you ask any player, any coach, the best time is when you're on the practice floor. More importantly, when you're on the game floor, that's when you can free up and just do what you love. So it's really, and I don't care if you're at Carolina or Duke or East Carolina or Air Force, it's hard, and it's work. And I think part of that is I'm glad the players are getting paid. Now, how it happened and how it blew up and how the portal, the perfect storm, I don't like. But players give hours and days and months and years of their lives, and now they're getting, retributed, which is good. But the way it's happened is another show. But that being said, it's work and it's hard. But when you get that exhilaration, when you win, whoever wins that game at the Dean Dome on Saturday, when you're done, that locker room puts it all in perspective, and it's all very well worth it. And then if you lose, that locker room, that's when you test your mettle. That's when you find out, what are you made of? Are you gonna splinter? Are you going to come together? Are you gonna listen? Are you gonna be coachable? Are your fans gonna just want the coach fired? It's just really, and it all might come down to a jump shot. It usually does, and that's why it's the greatest sport I think that God ever created, and Naismith was the conduit. But it's also one of the toughest sports when the ball doesn't go in the basket.
So let's talk a little bit about Duke Carolina. Blue Devils play tonight at home against Boston College, who has had some struggles this year. North Carolina last night blowing a 32-point lead to allow Syracuse to get it within 6 with 45 seconds to go. Then they'll play, obviously, on Saturday. So when you look at that game right now, and Duke's got one tonight, I realize that. When you look at that game, what you said could just come down to a single play, but how do they stack up? How do the two sides stack up? Just kind of your look at them, again, through your expertise.
And I haven't seen both teams enough, but I've seen them enough over the years and this year to understand one thing. And now I'm a Jersey guy talking to Carolina people, which you guys know way more and you have more history. As a Jersey guy, when I think of Duke, I think of defense. And when I think of Carolina, I think of offense. That's just the way, big picture. And I think at the end of the day, defense wins. I just go back to Wojo hitting the floor and Doug Collins and Bobby Hurley and all those guys. And when I think of Carolina, I think of their fast break. And at the end of the day, these teams are still probably in that mode, although both teams defend really well. I think Carolina they don't dot the I's or cross the T's enough. And that's a problem. When you're at the highest level, it's the fundamentals and the small things that will dictate the winner. And that's at in any conference. If you don't, complete passes, which sounds like, a football term, but if you don't take care of the basketball and you don't guard personnel for 40 minutes, and I think that's the difference. I think Duke has one loss in Madison Square Garden, their northern home, but they guard every possession. I think they play harder every possession. But I'll tell you one thing, this Caleb Wilson kid, now I saw him live. I went to the North Carolina Navy game, Patrick. This kid, he is AI. He is you watch him, and I've heard people say it. Somebody said it the other day, it's like you're watching an AI player. It's almost, after he does things, I don't believe what I just saw, and Boozer, and the Boozer kid is just, you see is what you get. So in a roundabout way, I'm leaning towards Duke. But that being said, Carolina hasn't lost at home. I think they've got the most exciting player. They got a 6'11", 7-foot guy that steps out. If they dot the I's, cross the T's, and make shots, they're going to win. If it's a grind game, Duke is going to win. So I'm not on here to make a prediction, but that's just through, my lens from being, I watched Duke Carolina games. We had on a podcast up in New York, Mike O'Corin, who played for North Carolina. The score at the end of the half was 7-6 when Dean Smith held the basketball, and then Duke came back and beat them in the early 80s. So I've watched a lot of these games with reverence, and I just think it's going to be exciting. But I think, like I said, if it's tight and it's close and plays have to be made in fundamentals, and I think Duke wins that. If Carolina gets that thing flying, but they were up 30, right? You saw the game last night. I was watching. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, Syracuse's program is in peril. The game is over, and then it's not. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that if you're going to be a championship team, or if you're going to beat a Duke team, or you're going to beat any team at the level of that is going to be played on Saturday evening.
Coach Greg Herenda with us. All right, I want to leave you with something as we go back to the Pirate Nation here. Your guy, the big guy, he's going to hit he's going fishing. He's retiring in March. He'll be back, but Matt Maloney, who will text me after he hears this interview because he loves Greg Herenda.
Oh, God.
He will text me and talk about how great you were. How about that, though? Matt Maloney, reaching retirement. Do you have any advice for Matt Maloney?
I just have love for Matt Maloney. It's not, he's not going away. He's still what he did for that university and athletic department will live forever. I was in contact just a day or two ago with Moussa Badien, and everybody, Matt gave something to everyone in the Pirate family, and that's not going away. And his presence will forever be felt. And I know that the powers that be are going to draw upon him, and he's just one of a guy. And I've been at Seton Hall in the Big East, Yale in the Ivy League, Holy Cross. I've been at a lot of really good, fine institutions, and have dealt with people in big guys' capacity, and they're great. But the personal touch, he and his wife and his family have brought to, and I'm just being redundant because everybody knows this, but from someone that was only in Greenville for 5 years, we stay in touch, and I just wish him all the best. He deserves some time off, because even when he wasn't working, this more than anybody, he was working, and now just relax, have fun, chill out, and trust me, he'll still be doing things for the Pirate Nation on a daily basis, but at least he'll have time to just take a deep breath, more so than he did, because he was a workaholic and a dear friend, and I just love the guy, and I just wish him all the best.
He's the best. He really is. Wonderful to have Coach Greg Herenda with us. Check him out Saturday night, FS1, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yep.
It will be San Diego State at Air Force. San Diego State at Air Force, FS1. Yes, Coach.
On February, now you have to write this one down. On February 28th.
All right.
I've got a rematch. It's already sold out. Grand Canyon University at Utah State, which is going to could eventually be the battle for the top seed. San Diego State's up there, Utah State, Nevada. It's but that 28th, I believe it's a night game, but February 28th,
it's a Saturday.
They had a war in Phoenix that I did a few weeks ago, and the rematch is February 28th. So if you want to, after the Air Force game, that's another one your fans or you can listen to. And I'm just enjoying the heck out of the opportunity that Fox Sports has given me.
Coach, did you get bumped by any of the fans that were rushing the floor in that game? Because they rushed the floor. That was a hell of a game.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm learning how to tweet it out, and I did, and I have an Instagram. The floor, we were across from the students. They were flying at us, and I had to tell my partner, Kevin Lee, to hold on, Kevin, hold on. And we held on. It was great.
Hey, Coach, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Good stuff there with Greg Herenda. All right, we're done, right, Bill? That's it?
Yep.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow for a fresh edition of the Patrick Johnson Show ahead of ECU women's basketball.